Hey, 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 welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message today for anyone that lands on it. I'm also doing a reading for my winner. So I don't know, whenever she shows up, she'll let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to start. Now, if you're new to my channel, I look at everything, but I look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience, because many times people are coming on to see what's going on in their relationship. But unfortunately, the same thing keeps happening in their relationship, and they already know what's going to happen in their relationship, and they don't want what they already know to happen in their relationship, which is really overstimulating. And we know when things are overstimulating because it keeps us up in our mind. There's a lot of mind chatter, and that mind chatter is how we know when we have a spiritual block. So I talk about the shadows to help you integrate your spiritual wounds, to turn them into spiritual gifts. You have to realize everywhere where you have a shadow, that's a place where you've detached from. That's a place that you wear a mask. You're not coming from your true self. So it's not all the time negative things. Sometimes it's positive things that we find in our shadows. It's just underdeveloped. So we look at it as broken. We look at it, that part of ourselves, as it doesn't work. When it's not that it doesn't work, it's that we're locked in a perception of what it is. And we do this a lot in relationships as well. Okay, so this is again why I like to talk about the shadows, because you are in charge of your reality, and there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness will determine your habits and your behaviorisms, and that inevitably is what will manifest your karma. So let's jump right on in. And if my winner comes on, please let me know, Darlene. Otherwise, again, if you wind up landing on this message, the message was for you, because that's how spiritual energy works, especially shadow healing. The universe is always bringing you what you need, not what you want, but what you need. That's why the Rolling Stones say you get what you want, you get what you need, not what you want. And so sometimes we're like, well, it came in a pretty package. The person, okay, nostalgia, someone that you are in separation with, I feel like, is thinking a lot about the old times with you. And you might be like, well, I really wasn't that much in their life. I feel like there's nobody in this person's life. And so the thing is, you're real, you're genuine, almost to a point that they thought that you were a little bit naive. And so there was an innocence to you, which made this person feel safe, to the point that you actually feel like you're familiar to them. Familiar, like they know you before, even though you might have never met this person before. You meet them, they feel like they've known you their entire life. Now, I don't feel like they treated you that well, and that's why there's this energy of being stuck in the past. So let's see why I'm pulling that energy. Let's see what Spirit is trying to tell us, and why, again, do I even ask about that energy? Well, this energy is the underlining energy of why people are doing what they do. That's helpful for when we look at the spiritual blocks, because understanding why a person thinks the way that they think takes the pressure off of us. We tend to look at why people do what they do as it's a reflection of us. Healing is to be able to see your situation from a different perception. Even if we know it has nothing to do with us, understanding it makes us relax, so we can actually integrate the spiritual lesson. And if this is somebody that you're in separation from, that you do care about, you're handling it in a more balanced way. And that is really important to know, because when we have spiritual blocks, we either overcompensate or undercompensate in our behaviorisms. I can't stop thinking about you. And that's where, again, nostalgia. I am not available, however. And I feel like this person, for the amount of see, they feel a spiritual connection. They never had a spiritual connection. They're quite aware that there's an emotional connection. This person is not very emotionally intelligent. They don't feel comfortable feeling their emotions. And the thing is, they know that you would need someone that's emotionally available. That's not their strength. Their strength, I feel like, is within the physical realm, not the emotional realm. The emotional realm is kind of tied into the spiritual realm, where this person, again, like I said, they can like do one thing at a time and not, and relationships are not their jam. I feel like they overthink. They have trauma, and when a person has trauma, they overthink and they get overstimulated. And then what happens is they do nothing because they overthink so much that they talk themselves out of it and they don't move. It's a way to procrastinate, but why does, because they don't feel strong and confident about themselves. I left you before you left me. Again, which it's, I feel like you weren't playing the game. And the game was you were supposed to chase them. You didn't do that. Again, this person is not on the same vibration as you. They needed for you to like convince them how much you cared about them. Because again, they feel a lack within inside of them. They couldn't really let you into their life that close because they don't like what they see in their life. That's why they're wearing a mask. And so when they saw that you were like, I'm not going to play this game, then what happened was they were like, well, then I'm going to leave. I'm not going to give you anything, so that this way it fucks with your head. And this is why this person, like I said, is not on a very high vibration. They emotionally manipulate because they don't want to be emotionally vulnerable. And now they didn't want to be, but nostalgia is about being like emotional because you're thinking about past. This person, I feel like, went through major trauma. And when we go through major trauma, we detach, we disassociate. So there was a sense that they didn't think that they could fall in love. I know that sounds crazy, but on the love that it's like, they know that they can have passion, but love is something totally different. They weren't taught that. They didn't grow up in that type of environment. I feel like they grew up in a very codependent environment. So they were conditioned to believe it's not really possible. And then they went out and had relationships, and their relationships are bad because their behaviorisms are in alignment with what they were taught. So I hope that you can forgive me one day. But what they see is I still have feelings for you. Because again, love can't be controlled. This person strategizes everything. They're always trying to control everything because they don't feel safe within inside themselves. This is how we know that they have a spiritual block. And we're going to pull in and ask questions of why the hell would you pull in a person like this? Well, God says, well, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So even if it doesn't work out, we'll find out what you need to heal to integrate so that it stops the karmic cycle of having the same type of person come into your life, because you'll know how to handle it. And so again, when we learn the spiritual lesson, we integrate the spiritual lesson. A lot of times people say, why do I keep getting the same thing? And it's because the spiritual lesson hasn't been fully integrated. Only when you embody it, meaning you have to go through the experience again and do it differently. That's why we live karmic cycles and get caught in karmic loops. And it's irritating. That's what makes us not believe that we can have relationships. And that's what happened to this person. That's why they're like, yeah, I felt the spiritual connection, but I don't trust that. I don't know what the fuck that is. What I trust is my mind. I trust me again, and that's survival mind. That's someone again. So I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. You taught this person how to think differently, that life could be different. That's a big deal. Like, to a person that feels broken and keeps living the same types of karmic cycles and gets stuck, they're really in a place of survival. They don't trust themselves. They're insecure. I don't care what they're showing you. And understand, when a person is broken, they overcompensate. So this person, if you get around them, you would eventually see, like, why are you so flashy? Why everything is over? It's a second chakra imbalance. It's like, or under. So again, when they met you, they would like breadcrumb you. I don't want to act like I feel like anything. So I'm going to give you a little bit. That's that, but you still felt spiritually like I can still feel that you like me, even though like your actions aren't in alignment with that. And so again, this person will overcompensate when they're cut next to you too, like take out a big wad of money to pretend that they're rich, like they were trying to create the persona that they think that you're going to buy into. And the thing is, it's like you see right through them, but it's you still care about them. And this person, like I said, is like almost like I feel like afraid by it, loves it, like, but is terrified from it and doesn't trust it because they don't trust themselves. But really, that's why Spirit brought you into their life. Again, to show them their wounds, to show them that life could be different, that you don't just live from this lower mind, which is what I see is what I know is what I believe, just the facts. And I take what I want, what's best for me. I don't really think about other people. And not because I don't like them, I'm just not aware. I'm not aware of that there would be any other way, and I love you because of it. It's like unconditional love. I can't control it. Doesn't mean that you don't piss me off. You piss me off because I don't think the way that you think. You think crazy. You think again like it's anything can happen, anything can go, anything that has not been my life. So I'm watching you live that life, and I see it's working for you, and I'm inspired to live that life too, but I'm afraid. But Spirit says again, unconditional love makes us do things that we wouldn't do. See, that's how the universe is sneaky, using you as a vehicle. And understand, you're like, well, what the fuck am I getting? And God says, oh, I'm going to show you your wounds too. Understand. You're going to find out what you need to integrate. I regret lying to you. So again, this person had to look at their actions. This is something that they don't want to do. They've never done. That's the first step in like shadow healing. So whether they know it or not, again, they know it's a spiritual connection. They know that they never felt like it before. Like it sounds so cheesy, but it's like they've tried to control it and manipulate it, and they can't do anything with it because unconditional love is the only energy that can't be manipulated. It can't be destroyed. It's God. It's unconditional love, which you're made up of this person's made up of. They recognize the soul connection, though they didn't put a name on it. They were like, I feel like I know you before. I feel comfortable with you. I feel like, I want to hold back, but then I get around you and I get diarrhea mouth. You know what I mean? Like that. Or I clam up. It's like, I don't feel like, but I love you, but I feel this way and I feel that way. It's woken up something alive. This person was detached, disassociated. They couldn't feel. That's what that means. When we can't feel our emotions, we can't feel. There's a numbing because the trauma. And when we relive the same trauma over and over and over again, that is what, makes us think a certain way. So a large part of how your person dealt with you was mainly from reactions. They got triggered. They reacted. They said something stupid. You said something, they got scared, they reacted. And that's how they self-sabotage themselves. And this is how trauma continues to play out. And this is why the person is like, I don't really believe that I could have it. But God is saying, yes, you can, because you actually are love. Let me bring this person to you. And you're like, don't bring me. This person is like, and Spirit says, no. There's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on how this is going to play out. So you might not be able to resist this person. You'd be like, this person's broken. Why would I want this person? Why do I even like this person? The Spirit says, because you haven't integrated the spiritual lesson yet. So part of, again, learning, we wouldn't volunteer to do this. I wish I could share my good news with you. This person is changing and they are coming to you, but understand it's a slow process. Now we're going to look and see what else that they're going to do. We're going to dive deeper into the reading to see what kind of relationship this is supposed to be, or what else that they feel about it. I never know what type of cards come out because this type of deck has all different things in it. So a lot of times it's just spiritual, which is union is an energy, not physical construct. Even when we aren't together, I feel our energy. Again, that's the soulmate relationship that transcends all time and space. This person knows you're supposed to be in their life. And that's that knowing that's connected to it's that spiritual energy, and that's how everybody really has that claircognizance. And so, but I feel like you and this person are extra sensitive. You guys are emotional, highly sensitive people. And so there is a very strong language. And that happens a lot of times if you grew up in traumatic environments. You became overly sensitive. So I feel like you guys have that in common. I've been so grounded all my life. It's hard for me to trust the spiritual elements of our connection, yet I can't deny that they exist. And this is what I was saying earlier about like this person is like, I've got spiritual energy. Like it's like I sound like a Fruit Loop, they think, because they're very grounded. They're like, but that's what happens when you have trauma. You really come from the logical linear mind, the survival mind. So, and that becomes very negative and very jaded over time, especially if you have baggage that you never heal, you never integrate, you never know. It's like, so this person's come into your life with all this baggage and not really believing. And then here you are, and now they are so complexed and it's creating all this craziness inside of them. Like, and understand that might sound so cheesy, but this person doesn't have good connections. They didn't feel like you know how hard it is to go through life feeling like you're not loved. So again, I've never felt love like this before. The depth of it can be inspiring, but also overwhelming. Is this what I'm just fucking saying? I'm like not lying to you. Look at that. Look. That's this, sometimes you're like, okay, so what are they gonna do? Well, listen, you don't see nothing happening, but everything's happening on the spiritual realm right now. And that's where things start. They start in the mind. So, in order for this person to actually come back and be different to you, this shit needs to happen. So, if you're like, oh, I'm not patient, well, Spirit's like, well, that's where you got this lesson because you're not patient. Remember, unconditional love means you have to integrate the higher levels of consciousness, which is Christ consciousness, which is unconditional love. It's again, you can't control it. So it's to understand that a lot of times we're like, you're not doing anything. Let me grab this. I want to pull a different deck called to, Okay, let's see. I can't stand the thought of you being with someone else. I'm jealous. Have I lost you forever? Again, this person. That is always how it would happen. This is why, again, it's always how you play it. Like if you gave this person exactly what they wanted, they would have treated you badly because they don't love themselves. However, unconditional love is making this person start to look at their consequences, but Spirit knows. And that's why when you're grounded, the universe helps you train your person. And I know that sounds crazy, but the universe always brings you what you need. But the ego is a big thing. It's all connected to survival. And however much trauma a person goes through, the more they're going to hold on, the more that they're going to control, the more that you're going to trigger them, the more. So you can't help who you fall in love with. So how you deal with this type of person is very imperative because it's a double-edged sword. I feel like they are coming into your life to bring you something because Spirit would never bring somebody in that was just gonna well, they learned the lesson, but you didn't. No, it's always of equal value. Because it's like, what the hell? What the hell is this? And so Spirit's saying, nope. Wherever you are is home to me. I feel safe and peace with you. I never want to let go. Okay, see, this is like what I'm talking about. It's like, no, I'm only kidding. It's like you feel like home to them. Like they said, they never felt like this before. And I said, I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's like, they're like, I don't know. I never thought that life could be different. I never, I feel like now, maybe if I'm with you, my life could be really, really good because I feel like this person is strong in certain areas of their life, right? I mean, Spirit always gives us gifts. And so I believe that this person's gifts would be within money, within the physical realm. Again, that's what they said. I've always been so grounded. So, that making money and hustling and being in that frame of mind, that left brain, logical, linear mind, is what they know. But that's what happens when we have trauma too. Then we only come from that place, which is a survival mind, which again blocks us from love. It's very strategic. And so, like I said, business oriented. So this person is like, I usually can control and manipulate, and normally they do because they're charming, but they couldn't with you. And the thing is, and then on top of it, I can't control my feelings. This is like flipping them out, flipping them out. I can't admit that I'm wrong. My ego comes between us, and I hide my insecurity behind my foolish pride. So again, that's what it was saying. Very business oriented. It's like this person has to retrain the way that they think. And that's not an easy thing. So the universe has brought you in to help do it. So what we see obviously is that you're standing your ground, because this person is like, well, I know I have to apologize. I know I have to do something, but I don't want to see myself that way. I normally see myself as strong. Like, I mean, look, there's a crown on this card. There's a reason why. It's like, because I want to be seen that way. And coming back and apologize definitely does not make me feel that way. So that's what they're fighting. It was like a dream come true when we met. I never wanted that passion to end. You rocked my world. So again, that's twin flame soulmate like connection, because listen, no one is going to stick around and retrain the way that they think without that passion. That's the fire element. That's the transmutation. And by you like standing your ground, you're helping the universe. And then again, because you're like, I'm not going to tolerate your bullshit. It's like with whatever this is. And this person was like, oh, I'll manipulate it. Oh, I can't manipulate it. And so, they're forced to look at their behavior. They're forced to look at their life. And what they look at is say, I don't have good relationships. How did I get here? Why did I sabotage this connection? Because I don't have good relationships. Why don't I have good relationships? I don't really like who I am. Why don't I like really who I am? Because I only like come from a very negative mindset. It's like, because that's all I've seen. That's all I've lived. So that's all I believe that I could have. But you came into my life and you showed me a different way, not because, oh, I'm so hot for you, though I am hot for you, though it's because you're so different from me. But we're the same. We're the same, but we're different. Like, so you might be highly sensitive. This person's highly sensitive, though they're like, again, very logical, linear, grounded empath, where you're an intuitive, spiritual empath, where it's like, we're the same. And I get you and you get me, and we have this deep spiritual connection, but I'm not a spiritual person. That's so foo-foo. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say it. So this person's battling. It's again where Spirit's saying, well, you can't be all that. Again, in the left brain, on both. I am male, I am woman, God says. You are both. Again, so you're too like left brain. So again, and too much fire, that's not good. You need to balance, and we wouldn't balance ourselves. Spirit brings that person into our life that makes us change through unconditional love. And the passion is what helps also transmute those wounds. My childhood was difficult and it still affects me. I was let down by people I loved and trusted, and that's what I said earlier. So this is what they're realizing. They're like, again, where did this come from? Why is it like this? Why am I like this? And that's, again, Spirit showing them, making them look at it. So you're not seeing this person come to you, because what you're seeing is a process. I need to be alone for now. I need to make sense of my intense feelings. I don't want to feel this way. It's like they feel stuck. It's like they feel so stuck, and they're like, I'm so, like, if you tap into them, I'm sure you're like, I feel like this person's angry with me. And they are, because you're making them change and they have feelings for you. And they're like, I don't want to do it. Because that ego, again, was created out of survival. It's again, and what we know is what was created in survival in childhood, and we go out into the world later on in life, is normally what sabotages us. And this is why this person continues to get in their own way. Where you're like, oh my God, they're like as slow as molasses all day and tomorrow. And it's like 2 steps forward, like 5 steps back. What the fuck? And it's like, because the person overthinks. They self-sabotage. And that's why healing, we have to recondition not just the mind, but the body too. Because again, I feel like this person got around you. And sometimes if they get emotional or whatever, because they don't process their emotions, they just react. And then they're like, shit, why did I say what I said? And then they're like, oh, did I talk too much? Did I say too much? But they don't show you that. I can't go against my family. I let them have too much control over me. I'm stuck now. So I feel like this person, if it's not family, it's other people. When a person has that many wounds, they don't obviously feel good about themselves. This person has never had good relationships. And so I feel like the people that are in their life, they do overgive because they get praise, they get love, they get something. So they became like the healer kind of the family, and when they overgave. And so they don't let people in. So I feel like it wouldn't really go against their family, but you are very different. So this person might come from a very religious background, and where you're not religious, you might be spiritual. You may have your own business and they like somebody that like stays home. Again, too much control means their influence. They don't need to live with them or even do anything. It's influence. It's emotionally, I don't let people into my life. And I give these people too much power over me because I feel like they know better because I don't trust me. And that's why they never heal. Right there. Right there, my friends. That's the culprit. And when families are dysfunctional, which again, we saw this, that they grew up in that dysfunction. Well, the healer in the family, we don't want to change the dynamic of that. You need to stay put because you're the fixer. You do a lot. So like if you don't do it, then it means that we're going to feel that. And that means we have to change. And we don't really want to change because we don't think that we can. Again, stuck in that limited mindset. I'm in a superficial relationship with someone else because I'm not ready for real love with you. So I feel like this person, when you met them, they were in this, I don't even want to call it like a relationship. I feel like it was at one time, maybe it was a relationship, but it was a one-night stand that turned into something, and it was all manipulation because this person always navigated from a very selfish way. And so what that is an attachment. And that's a way of avoiding a real relationship because this person wants to feel more safe. They want to feel more in control. That's the way that they feel safe. So there was somebody that's there, but it's like, I don't really care how I treat you. You like can be my maid, you can be they departmentalize. And they're like, I really would like to be with you, but I'm going to departmentalize. And that's why I said this person is being made to heal. They're being made to change because the person attached to them at this point isn't happy either because no one wants to be with someone that doesn't give them love. They just get money. They just get whatever it is. So they're like, well, like, I would like the whole package, but they're not happy either. So they're in a karmic relationship. And that's why your person, now that you left, and they really know that you left, they're in this energy again of nostalgia. And that's how we started this reading off, right? So We always see it go in full circle. I'm totally heartbroken that we're not together right now. I'm up at night worrying about us and our future. And so, again, being made to change, where this person now can't go back to the way that it was before. And that's what healing is, right? I mean, once you have new information of how life could be, well, they try to go back with it. But I mean, the karmic, it's like there's not no love there. There's no passion there. There's no, so it's like being like with stale, just stale. I was gonna make a face like that, stale like energy, like where it's so boring and you just don't want to be there, that this person daydreams about you all day long. So they're like, I'm still with you, but I'm not with you, which is what happens with trauma when a person refuses to change, when they're afraid to change. And what we see is this person has stayed with a karmic for a really long time. And now what we see is they're still trying to kind of control how things go, because but they're losing. They're losing because the universe is like, time is a ticking. They're going to meet someone else. Then their own mind is starting to take them down, being like, well, the longer I stay away, like chances are they're going to meet someone else. If I find them attractive and, have all these good qualities, why wouldn't anyone else? Again, their own mind chatter is starting to make them like have anxiety, and then living in the confinement with someone that you don't really want to be with, but you're just avoiding life because, hey, it's safe and I get to wear my mask and I get to look a certain way to people. And that's really what makes me feel safe. I don't really know who I am. Well, again, taking a chance on you is terrifying. So, they're really stuck, but the universe always wins. Remember that, because the universe is God. And so you ain't gonna get away from that. And so you also have that energy. Hey, are you here? I had a winner actually supposed to come on, Darlene. Life feels empty without you by my side. You were my everything, and I pushed you away. I don't know if they knew that you were their everything when they met you, but I feel like now that they're with the stale energy, and every day life is like Groundhog's Day, and they're just bored. They're safe. They got their money, they got their facade, but they're not happy. Well, it's again, life is empty because love is everything. We're down here to learn the spiritual lessons of love. That's really what we're supposed to do. And we learn that lesson through all different people and situations and scenarios that make us change, that make us heal, that make us look at life differently. And this person wants to stay the same because they want holding on to their facade, but they're seeing it, I'm not going to be able to do this. And so, yeah, they are kind of angry at you. Like, how the hell did you come into my life and fuck it all up? Now I got to change everything and you're not making it easy on me. Maybe we're too different. That's why we disagree and feel distant from each other. It's again, this person tries to talk themselves out of it. And so it's a process. When people say with it, that ego comes down, it doesn't just come down. There's a fight because that ego went up in childhood, and it went up and it only created bad experience from thereafter. So this person's been majorly conditioned. So the best that we can do, because they're going to fight for it for a little bit longer, it looks like, we're going to ask why you attracted this person into your life. What are you supposed to learn? What's a spiritual lesson? Well, suppression. I feel like this person, again, didn't let you be yourself. And again, growing up in an environment that didn't let you have your unfoldment process. These are your wounds. You have to say, why did I attract a person into my life that doesn't have their shit together, that doesn't know, that really has feelings for me, but it looks like that? Why does it look like that? Like, I don't feel that way about myself. And Spirit says, what was the wound that needed to be integrated? Someone, again, suppressed you, then part of you doesn't really know who your identity is. So you have shadows too. And I feel like that separation where you didn't give this person, that's where you started to feed yourself more. And that could mean connecting with friends, doing different things, growing your business, taking a class, just doing something to find yourself, to get to know who you are a little bit better. Because again, when you know who you truly are, you can attract exactly what you want. And so Spirit's saying, do you really want this? That's familiar, again, because you grew up with that. And yeah, it's in a pretty package. However, whether it's a guy or a girl, it's a pretty package. However, it's imbalanced. And again, self-love, to give yourself self-love. It's again, when we didn't get the love and the nurturing that we needed when we were children. And the child self is always a lot more sensitive than who we truly are now. So I feel like you grew up with somebody that was very strict, that suppressed, you know, your your unique unfoldment process. And so the way that you really find that, to heal it, to reparent it, is to give yourself self-love. And that's to invest in yourself, to give yourself the love that you're looking for this person to come in, because you'll get the emotional fulfillment. The issue is that this person was not capable of emotionally giving you. Maybe your mother or father, the person that you felt should have given you that love, they weren't emotionally capable. So you needed to learn that lesson, to integrate, because again, it made you feel on some level that you weren't lovable. What we realize is that we have to do it for ourselves to become it, to get it, to attract it. And so by becoming love, by doing what you love, you naturally attract love. And this is what I'm feeling is happening, because you were healing again, feeling unworthy. This person made you feel unworthy growing up, where, someone tells you how to be, whether it's from a good perspective or a bad perspective. It's again, the child self again only sees what it sees, and it's a child. So the wound is, I didn't feel worthy because my unfoldment process was different from other people. So I didn't really try. I didn't really go out and explore. I was afraid to. I was always made to feel like I was doing something wrong, because I should be liking what everyone else likes, or what my parents tell me to like, or what I feel like I should like, but I don't. Where that is what made me feel like I'm unworthy, because I don't really know who I am. So I'm not really that important. And this person made you feel like you're not important. And so what you did was you reparented that energy. So then we ask ourselves, any other spiritual advice? Like, again, okay, so I did that, but what else? Because it's like, well, this person just came in and, well, they're suffering until they change. They're in a karmic thing, struggle. And they're not all of a sudden stop loving you. If anything, what I see is the energy is getting stronger. And that's what's flipping them out, because they're like, I thought I can control this. And really, I made a monster. Look how fucking far away I am now. It's like, I'm not even in your life. I need to and to come back, I need to be completely different. And Spirit says, yes, you do, you motherfucker, because I don't like how you were at all. You need to heal yourself. You need to heal yourself. You're going around bleeding all over everybody because of what happened in childhood. You know what to do. You shouldn't make people feel unworthy because you feel unworthy. And this person felt that way because they were the healer of the family. They didn't go out and create themselves either. So again, this is the spiritual connection. Again, we don't know. The joy, like a child, I discover in the simplicity of life, happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of life. So again, integrating joy. Like, if we didn't, children are joyous and they do find happiness in the littlest things. Oh, I played in the grass, or I had found a cardboard box and made it into a tree house, or made a new friend today, and it's a big fucking deal. And Spirit says, be like childlike. Again, don't have expectation. Don't have, try to control it. Just go out and find yourself. Have a love affair with yourself. stir up the joy in yourself so that you raise your vibration high, so that people again on a low vibration that can't even come into your life, because this person's on a low vibration not because they're a bad person, but because they refuse to do the healing. And actually spirit just said, well, they actually are a bad person because they refuse to do the healing work that they know that they need to do. So whether they want to or not, you know, they should want to, obviously, because there's a price. So that was today's shadow message. Anyone have any questions? Anyone want to ask me any questions? Please do. Again, spiritual questions, any advisory questions, any psychic questions. We'll open the floor to you for a few minutes. I'll wait a minute or two while I clean up, and if no one answers, then what I will do is I will log off. I was waiting for my winner. She never showed. She never showed. Nobody? Okay, I'm going to wind it down. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for giving me the likes. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, don't forget to write the word of the video in the comment bar. And I actually got to find the word because I forgot it. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.